going on, YouTube? Find Some Green here with Dirt and Diamonds Gaming. Roster updates this Friday. And today I want to talk about some cards that you should be looking at to hopefully make a ton of stubs with your roster of investments. First place we're going to talk about is Gunnar Henderson. The market indicates that everyone thinks he's going diamond. However, looking at his stats over the last 2 weeks, I'm not quite sure that's the case. He's only hitting 264 for the season. Since the last roster update, in the last 15 games, he's hitting 211. He does have 4 home runs in the last 15 games. However, he's hitting 185 over the last week. And he's two for his last 12. So the last clip that they're going to see of him is 2 for his last 12 with 1 home run. For me, I'm going to put in a buy order well below where the current orders are in case he doesn't go diamond, and then there's a massive sell-off, and I'll buy on the dip. Next, I want to talk about Jose Trevino, which, as you can see, I started in a little early. I actually bought him for the Team Affinity exchanges, and I noticed that his price was well above where everyone else was. I went and checked and saw that he was hitting pretty well. And since I've picked him up, he's hitting 293 on the season. He's batting 333 over those last 15 games with 3 home runs. Right now it's showing he's got a negative inside edge. But, like I said, the market looks like that everyone thinks he's going gold. I'm going to sell mine off and then put in another investment just in case he doesn't go gold. And then we'll go from there. After that, I want to go all the way over to the Cleveland Guardians. I have 152 Steven Quans. I bought him when he was a silver. Right now, he's going for 750, which isn't quite the 82 value, but it's better than the 81. Now, the thing with Quan is he's hurt, and he got hurt about a week after the last roster update. However, in the week that he played after that roster update, he was batting 400. He had 3 runs driven in, he drew 5 walks, and he was 10 for 25 with 5 runs. I'm going to hold, and I'm going to see what they do with him. At 646, he's not that much above quick sale where you could jump in and they might bump him to an 82. He's given them no reason whatsoever to downgrade him based on what he did for those 7 days. And they typically don't downgrade during an injury period anyway. He's a solid hold for me. If you can acquire some, I would suggest it. If they downgrade him, I don't know what to tell you. I think they're morons, but I think everyone thinks they're morons at this point, so that's neither here nor there. After that, Tiger School's getting an upgrade. I didn't get in on him in time. I should have probably kept the ones that I had when he got upgraded to 85. He's been pitching his ass off. There's no other way to talk about it. He's phenomenal. If you want to buy in at 36, they might bump him to an 87, and then there's still some room there to make some stubs. But if they only bump to an 86, then you're looking at less than 100 stubs. You get him right now with 36 and change. So, that's your call. Moving on from them, we are going to head all the way. Well, we can talk about the Twins because Yohan Duran's getting an upgrade. Pablo Lopez might get an upgrade. I'm half and half on the fence. I'm probably going to backfill just to see if he doesn't and then pick up anything that drops off. Duran's been pitching great season back. I don't see how they don't bring him up to diamond, but they really held off on him for a while last year, so it's possible. Talking about the Astros, however, Kyle Tucker has been playing phenomenally. His batting average is not the best, but he's up to 13 home runs. He's hit 8 home runs in the last 15 games. I would imagine he's going to get a power upgrade. If I remember correctly, let's take a quick look. He now has... Where is he versus righties? He has hit 8 home runs versus right-handed pitchers at this point this season. They have 68 power for him against righties. It's well overdue for a bump. He still has 5 home runs against lefties. His slug against lefty is 649, where his slug against righty is 564. I don't think they'll give him a power downgrade versus lefties, and he's definitely due for power upgrade versus righties. His batting average against righties is probably going to keep him about where he's at, and he's hitting 298 against lefties, so his contact versus left should stay about the same. I'm going to assume that he's going to go up to an 88. He might go an 89. It really just depends how much they bump his power and how much they mess with his contact. But yeah, I'm in on him a little bit. I might actually grab some more, just depending. Another guy to talk about, which I'm not quite sure how to feel about him, is Jake Meyers. So here's the thing with Jake Meyers. He's got really good fielding, right? It shows diamond defense. It's not really diamond defense. He has gold defense. He's got 88 fielding. His contact numbers and his power numbers kind of suck. Now, for the season, he's only batting a whopping 247, and he's only 3 for his last 9, which actually, saying it out loud, isn't terrible because of the fact that, it's still batting 333, and he did drive in 3 runs on the 12th against Detroit. He's hitting 270 over his last 15 games, and he's hitting 280 over his last 7 games. It is possible. It's possible that it might be, I don't think they're really going to touch much versus the left, but it is possible that they could potentially give him a little bit of a boost versus right-handed pitching. Maybe. This is kind of like a Trino situation. I bought him for exchanges, didn't need him at the time when that was going on. He was hitting closer to 400, so I decided to hold. At this point, I'm in on it. I'm not overly concerned. I bought all of them for around 135 to 138 stubs, and maybe a little lower at first with the exchanges. Come Friday, if he doesn't go up, he doesn't go up. I don't think he'll get a downgrade. Again, his defense is strong, and it's not like his batting average is crazy in the toilet where it would destroy his contact numbers he has now. But if it's somebody you want to look into, if you're looking for a place where you can enter on the lower end, it might be a guy you want to check out. We're going to fast forward over to the Rangers. Marcus Simeon, who's going for about quick sell right now. Marcus Simeon has been hitting 333 over his last 7 games and 319 over his last 15. He's got 2 home runs in that time period. He's hitting 277 for the season. It is potentially possible that he is in line for a contact upgrade. Again, he's at quick sell. He's done nothing to downgrade his value. So getting in on him, if you can afford it, there really shouldn't be much risk involved. And if he goes to an 88 or if he goes to an 89, an 88, I think it's 5,500 for your quick sell. So, you potentially make 1,000 on each. It's not a crazy investment in the sense that it's going to make you a ton, but there's minimal risk involved. This man right here, though, if you have him, if you have any of his cards stocked up, you need to get rid of him. Adolis Garcia has forgotten how to hit since the last update. I want to say that he's batting under 200 since the last update, or right around 200. Whatever it is, he's dropped his batting average for the season down to 253 after he was hitting over 300 at the first roster update. Yeah, he's hitting a $186 over his last 15 games with 1 home run, and he struck out 22 times. He's going to drop. I don't see how he can't drop. And like I said, if you have any cards of his left, because you were hoping he might hit 90 because of how hot he started, get the hell out now. I'm not even kidding. Moving on. There's not much to talk about with the Braves. Austin Riley's probably due for a downgrade. Ozzy Albies, I'm probably going to get out of. He hasn't done much. Chris Sale's been pitching his ass off. He's probably due for an upgrade. The market seems to think he's going diamond. If you can get in now where it is and then just sell off immediately, because there's there's about 1,000 stub gap there, I would just take advantage of that as quickly as possible before it either corrects itself, or worst case scenario, if you get in at 19, you sell for 3, you're still making 800 after. You're talking about the difference of 300 stubs. And yeah, 300 stubs over 100 orders is like 30 grand. But better safe than sorry. Let's see. Next we go to Philadelphia. All right, Philadelphia. JT Realmuto has been playing much better since he got his downgrade. He's hitting 323 over his last 15 games with 2 home runs. He's hitting 379 over the last week. He's 5 for his last 14. His contact numbers right now are crap. his power numbers are not great. And, well, they destroyed his fielding, and I don't really know why. But, again, there's potential there to do something. Matt Strom is trending towards diamond. He's definitely trending towards at least an 84. He has been phenomenal. He's got 27 strikeouts over 16 innings. He really doesn't walk anybody. He's got 1 walk in his last 15 innings, and he's only given up 8 hits. Yeah, he's probably going to be one of your next diamond closers. If you can get in, I would. I haven't yet, but I'm making this video on the fly as I do some of my investing, because I haven't really had time to do the investing that I normally would. So I'm letting you guys know while I'm doing it, and we can all just figure out how we're going to do it together. I'm not going to be one of those guys that I make sure to load up on everybody beforehand and then tell you. I'll let you know. And sometimes, yeah, like I started buying JT weeks ago after they dropped him, because why the hell not? He's JT Romildo. But other than that, I'll try to keep it as live and as real as I can for you. Moving on, CJ Abrams, he's been playing pretty good baseball considering he's stuck on the Nationals. Although I will say that over the last couple of weeks since he got his upgrade, he's hitting 206 over his last 15 games. I'm going to figure that they're probably going to downgrade him. But let's just check his splits. He's hitting 227 against righties right now. They gave him 81 contact versus righties. Don't be surprised if he gets a downgrade. He is hitting 348 against lefties, which could potentially counterbalance it. And he does have 3 home runs against lefties, over 46 at bats. He's got a 674 slug. I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't touch him. His inside edge gives him a +3 because of the +11 versus righty on power and contact, but that's not where he's going to get upgraded. He's going to get upgraded on his contact and power versus left. And I don't know if it counterbalances or not. It could drop him to an 82. It might drop him to an 80. At that point, it's Russian roulette. I don't know what to tell you. Moving on. This man, I am not going to butcher his name. He's potentially going diamond. He's either going diamond or he's going to go to 84. If he goes to 84, for me right now, I'm going to put in orders right in that 84 quick sell range, somewhere between probably 15 and 1600. SDS likes that 3-year window they do, but lately they have been pushing guys relatively quickly through that window. However, it's possible that they hold them for one more cycle just to see. And I don't want to be the guy with orders out there for 3,000 or 2,500, and then he doesn't go diamond, because those orders will fill real quick, I promise you. Talking about the Reds, Nick Lodolo, he's been pitching extremely well. He will most likely go gold. As to whether or not it's 81, 82, or just an 80, I'm not sure. I didn't get in on him in time. I have a dislike for Nick Lodolo just because his cards are usually pretty bad in the show. Hunter Green's half and half. Fernando Cruz, everybody was really high on, and he got shit on for a week. People aren't on him so much. Ellie's Ellie. It is what it is. William Contreras is a monster. He's just a monster. He's hitting 352 for the season. In the last 15 games, he's hitting 351. He's hitting 462 over his last 7. He hasn't hit any home runs at all in the last 15 games, but it doesn't change the fact that he's just murdering the baseball. He's currently hitting 360 against righties, and they only gave him 85 contact. So, yeah, I don't know if they're going to give him anything on the power side, but you would figure the +12 contact that he might get. Let me rephrase that. The +12 contact that he's getting from inside edge would probably push him to an 86. The +12 power might have pushed him to an 87. You would think he's going to land somewhere in there. He's too damn good to only be an 85. Christian Yelich is back, and he is murdering the baseball. There's a lot of people who are murdering the baseball, but Christian Yelich is just shitting. He's shitting on baseballs. He's currently hitting 359. He's hitting 327 over his last 15 games, 423 over his last 7 games. He's got 4 home runs in his last 15 games. And, well, he's hitting 500 against lefties. Now, granted, it's only been 12 at-bats, but he's got 6 hits, 2 of them being home runs, with a slugging percentage of 1,000, which, again, skewed, low sample size. He's hitting .327 against righties, with 3 home runs, slugging percentage of .577. There is room for this card to grow all over the place. He's only 671 right now, which is 71 stubs above quick sell. I feel like the market's sleeping on him because everyone forgot how much of a monster Christian Yelich can be when he can actually hit and he's healthy. I plan on buying a shit ton more. I don't know what else to say. But I will say that Bryce Turang is not getting any attention, and it's kind of a travesty because he's hitting 300 right now. He's been hitting 283 since the update. He's hitting 296 in his last 7 games. His contact numbers are abysmal versus lefties, according to SDS. And they're not great in real life either, but he is hitting 309 against righties, and he does have 2 home runs. 72 contact versus righties is kind of terrible. And the 2 home runs, I mean, he's slugging .431 against right-handed pitching. Probably could do for a little bit more than 48. Does he get to 80? I'm not sure. But it's somebody you might want to look at for a little bit of a longer investment. I don't think he'll probably get to 80. He'll probably wind up landing like the 78 to 79 range. But I've got a couple. I definitely have some more buy orders in on him because he's one of those guys that, well, the roster update that has the fielding should be coming, I would imagine, in the next 3. I don't want to say the next 3 to 4 cycles, but if I remember correctly, I want to say it was either right after. I want to say it was right after the All-Star break. So if they're doing the update May 20th, what's today? Tuesday. Friday. So they're doing it May 18th. They're going to be sometime mid-June. Sometime early July. Yeah, you're looking end of July, early August if they do the fielding and speed update. But the man's a demon on the base paths. And he's just somebody you might want to take a look at. Next place we're going is we're going to the Cardinals. Everybody's in on Sonny Gray. Like everybody's been in on Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's last 2 outings have not been great. On the whole, he's still pitching phenomenally. But his last 2 outings have been kind of, like tonight hurt. I don't care about the 5 earned runs, but the 2 walks over 6 is The 8 hits over 6 is not good. The 9 strikeouts is, but he followed that start up that was his follow-up start after running into Milwaukee Buzzsaw. He gave up 7 hits over 5, another walk, and he struck out 6. His last 2 starts have not been good at all. There's no real way to put it aside from that. You're talking he's given up 15 hits in 11 innings and another 3 walks. I don't think he's actually going diamond. I don't. I know that obviously the pricing says that he's going diamond and the market thinks that he might be going diamond, but there's a decent chance that he stays at 84. I'm actually kind of concerned that he might not even stay at 84. But again, I will probably put in some orders down by quick sell and hopefully catch the drop. The good news is that if you're that far down on the orders, that if he in the event doesn't go diamond, that you can catch the drop. If he drops below that, like let's see, right now people are still buying. There are a crap ton of orders above 2,000 stubs right now. So if in the event he was to drop to say 83, it should give you enough time to get out of those orders. Should. I say should because if you don't have access to the PlayStation or the Xbox, whatever console you're playing on, the app is slow to update and you won't get on right away. And by the time you do, you'll probably own a whole bunch of Sonny Gray. But if you are able to get to your console and he does drop to 83, there should be enough time for you to get out beforehand. But I would keep that in mind. Now, Ryan Helsley's been pitching his ass off. His price is considerably low for what he's been doing. make sure I'm not speaking out of turn. Last I looked, he's been, yeah, okay. So for the season, he's got 23 strikeouts over 20 innings. And he's given up 2 walks over his last 15 with 8 hits over his last 15 with a whip of .67. I don't know why he's so low. I don't know why he's so low. Like he's got so much room to grow on his walk rating. They gave him a 69 for his walk rating. And he still, I think, has room to grow on his K rating, although you would like to see it a little bit higher. But he's definitely a guy that I'm going to be looking to get into before it's all said and done. I'm shocked he's as low as he is. Yeah, I'm a little shocked. Sorry, slightly flabbergasted. I don't have much to say about Diamondbacks. Gallen's kind of Gurriel's probably going to drop. Christian Walker hasn't been playing as well as he was. The Rockies, on the other hand, Brent Doyle's been playing exceptional baseball, and he already has 99 fielding. It is very easy for him to get to gold. He's hitting 282 on the season. He's hitting 348 over his last 7 games. He's only hitting 204 over his last 15. However, he's starting to heat up. I'm not totally sure what they're going to do here. But again, with diamond defense and common hitting, it's not hard for him to get to gold. Ezekiel Tovar, he's only hitting 275. But he's hitting 355 over his last 7, 239 over his last 15. But again, his last 7 games is what they're really going to see. And in the last 7 games, he's got 2 home runs, and he is hitting 355. He's got 90. He's got 90 fielding, which again is going to be one of the ones. It says gold defense, that's fine. But with bronze hitting, there's room to grow. Ryan McMahon's playing out of his mind, apparently. He's hitting 308 for the season with 6 home runs and 22 RBIs. He's batting 304 over your last 15 games and 333 over your last 7. He's got 2 home runs. 1 he hit tonight against San Diego, right? So that's nice because all the Padre fans out there with SDS are going to see that. But he's slugging for 481 over his last 7 and 482 over his last 15. I mean, Byron's 130. Got 91 fielding. Is it Diamond Shield? No, but he still has 91 fielding. And as you can see, the plus 15s, if he gets plus 15s, would bring him up to 80. If I remember correctly, though, he's hitting pretty well. He's hitting 340 against lefties right now with 2 bombs, and he's hitting 291 against righties with 4 bombs. So, well, he might not get plus 15 versus right power and plus 15 versus contact versus right. He's due for a left-handed upgrade. His sample size against lefties is a bit more than Yelich, where he is 18 for 53, whereas Christian was 6 for 12. So it's just something to keep in mind there. Heading over to the Dodgers, Tyler Glasnow is a man on a mission. I don't have another way to describe him. He's got 65 strikeouts over 46 innings, and they gave him a 75 Ks per 9. He's got 10 walks over 46 innings, which, I mean, it's not bad. And he's only given up 30 hits. The fact that the man's only an 85 after the first update is kind of like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but apparently he took offense to it, because since that update, he's given up, 8 hits over 20 innings. He's walked 6 batters over 20 innings, and he struck out 29 over the last 20 innings. I think he starts tomorrow. Let me see, when is his next scheduled start? If I can find it really quick. Bear with me 1 second. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, so 2 days ago, it was noted that Los Angeles Dodgers starter Tyler Glasnow was initially rejected to make his next start on Wednesday, which would have been tomorrow, on the 15th against the Giants, but the team is pushing his start back for at least a day, which means that he is done pitching for this roster update period. Yeah, he's definitely a buy. even at 33, 37, I would call him a buy. I'm actually going to put in at least a couple orders right now, I think, because I don't know how they don't upgrade this man. Like, I have no idea how they don't upgrade this man. It doesn't make any sense if they don't upgrade this man. Like, what's the point of having phenomenal stats if you don't get anything out of it? I'll put in more buy orders for that later. Will Smith, I am on the fence. Will Smith was hitting really well. He's still hitting 315 for the season. He's only hit 160 over his last 7 games after hitting 295 over his last 15 with 3 home runs. Now, he was hitting really well and he had no power. Now, since the update, he's had some power, but all of a sudden he's managed to hit a bit of a slump. That said, last 2 games against the Giants, he is 4 for his last 9, so he might be coming out of it. I would watch to see how he does tomorrow night against the Giants on Wednesday. I guess by the time you guys hear this is going to be Wednesday, but I would look and see how he does tonight. If he rips the cover off the ball, try to get in. Don't buy too high. Put in your order like he's not going to go. That way, if he doesn't, and then if he does, there is a thing called back orders. I'm sure you people have heard about it and seen it somewhere. Basically, SDS doesn't wipe out orders after a card goes diamond. Those orders still stay and they eventually will fill. Yeah, I got a glass now. You can do that as well. It's kind of a hedging your bet type of deal. It's kind of nice to do when you sell everything off and then you put back in, and then if it winds up going and then you wind up buying again, it's a cool way to double dip the market. I personally think, so it won't happen with like these really high cards, but when it comes to the lower cards, I really think that SDS feeds the market themselves. I don't think that everybody and their brother is dumb enough to quick sell 85 diamonds or 86 diamonds for, 1,050 stubs or 1,500 stubs or 1,600 stubs. I'm sure some people do, they just do it quick because it's what they're used to doing, where they just go quick sell, quick sell, quick sell. But I really, really, really think that in order to keep the market going, that SDS fills low orders, or fills the low orders on the low diamonds. I have nothing to actually prove that, but I can tell you, I think this was last year or the year before, I put in like 75 orders for Garrett Cole at Quick Sell, and all 75 orders, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all 75 orders fill within like 40 minutes. There was no way that many people were on and playing that I would have gotten all those orders filled that quickly. It wasn't possible. With that said, moving on to the Padres, Yu Darvish has been pitching exceptionally well. Like, over his last 3 starts, he has given up 8 hits over 17 innings. He's struck out 15 and has only issued 2 walks. He's not going to see a crazy jump, but he should be able to make it to gold. Dylan Cease has been pitching like a man on a mission. I didn't even bother to pull the stats. He's just been out of this world. But let's see really quick. What is his stats? Dylan Cease. Yeah, he's got a whip of .78. He struck out 68 batters in 55 innings. And I mean, his last start tonight against Colorado wasn't great. He gave up, 1 walk and 5 2/3, 5 hits and 5 2/3, and he struck out 8. So it's not like he had a bad game. It wasn't a great game. He got the loss. He gave up 3 runs, but ERA doesn't matter with SDS. Or it doesn't matter enough with SDS. I guess somewhere in there they may factor in pitching clutch, so it would depend on the situation. But other than that, it doesn't really seem to matter. Luis Ariz, he's hitting like he usually does. He's a contact hitter. His contact numbers are already high. They might push him to 80 overall. They might not. I'm not sure. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Unfortunately, the Giants are, there's not much going on with the Giants. I think Jung Ho Lee might have just gotten hurt. I thought I saw something about that in my news feed. With that said, if there's anybody that you're thinking of and you want to share, by all means, leave a comment. If I've mentioned somebody that you didn't even think of and you're, kind of shocked or whatever, you can by all means leave a comment. If you found any of the video helpful, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, clicking the notification bell. It helps us defeat the algorithm. The last video that we had really did really well with the algorithm. I appreciate all of the support that you guys gave me. We tripled our subscribers, and I couldn't get over how many people watched that video. I was very surprised, very grateful. As always, I appreciate the time. And until next time, you guys have a good one.